If you've been thinking about quitting your job and starting a company, you're in the right place because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Before you quit, you should stop and ask yourself, is that what I really want? Or do I just want to raise? So first, before you take any drastic action, take a look at what the underlying problem is. If you're unhappy with your current situation and it can be fixed within the company you're at, I really encourage you to look at those options because starting a company is so incredibly difficult. Take it from me that if you're not ready for that challenge or the stress that comes with it, your job might not be so bad. The grass is always greener. So before you quit, if you're ultimately just unhappy with how much you're making, get up the courage, go ask for a raise. And frankly, you're in a really good negotiating position right now because if you're willing to leave, there's nothing stopping you from getting what you want. Now, if you decide that leaving your company is still the right thing to do, congratulations, because new opportunities are just waiting for you. Now, a lot of people look at leaving their job in a linear fashion, which is first I'll leave my job and then I'll look at new opportunities or start my own company. And that's the wrong way to do it. You should be looking at this in the reverse order. So before you quit your job, go find new opportunities. Start searching for a new job if that's what you want to do next, and keep making money. If what you want to do is start a company, same advice. Start that company while you're working for your current job. Yeah, it's going to be really tough. You can test the waters on doing something new before making such a drastic move of leaving where you're at. One piece of advice I'd give to entrepreneurs who are thinking about quitting their job is start generating revenue in your new business today. When you become an entrepreneur, you may lose your stability, and it can be very scary to be just spending money every month. And I've done it myself, a lot of entrepreneurs have done it, but it's not a winning strategy. It's actually one that's more prone towards failure. So today, just start whatever you want. Keep your day job, keep making money, and use that to fund your next business. All right, so if you've decided to officially quit your job, your next step is that you're actually going to have a really difficult conversation. I recommend not stringing this out too long. Don't send your boss an email that you want to schedule a meeting at 3 p.m. today, 5 hours from now, and certainly not another day. Get it done now. So when you walk in, if your boss is in the office, stop by their office and ask them if you can talk to them for a second. You're just gonna have to say flat out to them that I'm not currently happy with where I'm at and I want to leave my job and look at new things. The goal here should be to leave them loving you. There's a certain kind of person out there who has a knack for having a difficult conversation and having people like them even more after having it. That should be your goal here. Don't burn bridges. Offer to give them 2 weeks notice or a month's notice. Tell them that you'll help them through a transition phase. Let them know that you're going to do everything you can to make this as smooth for them as possible. And if you can do that, hopefully this person will be able to play some positive role for you in the future. Or maybe, if we're really being righteous here, maybe you can help them someday, or maybe your boss will be your future employee if you start your own company and it really takes off. A piece of advice that I have in difficult conversations is to separate yourself from your emotions. I know that I've walked into conversations in the past and, my heart was just pounding. And so what you need to do is take a deep breath, just say what needs to be said. Remove your thoughts from your physical body. And I know that sounds weird, but it works. And it'll help you have a less emotional, nervous conversation. And frankly, if you're going to be an entrepreneur anyway, you're going to be having a lot more of those. So it's time to get used to it. All right, so you've just quit your job and now you're starting a company. My first piece of advice is to talk to as many entrepreneurs in your network as possible, big or small. Don't go at this alone. So start talking to people. The earlier you can get onto a successful path, the better. Here's another piece of advice. Don't start a company where you're just working on product and building for a long time. Revenue is key. Don't get caught in busy work. If you don't have a plan to generate revenue in your first month, reconsider your current plan. If you hate sales and my talk right now of generating revenue and sales in your first month is giving you the shivers, you may want to reconsider quitting your job altogether, because entrepreneurship is all about sales. It's actually the #1 skill that matters. Finally, I want you to spend 5 minutes thinking about the job you're leaving and the lessons you've learned and how you might apply them in the future. These can become serious entrepreneurial strengths for you. I actually have an example from a company I worked for in between 2 entrepreneurial endeavors I had. I had my first company. I was very tired and burned out after it. So I went to go work for someone else. And I learned one of the most important entrepreneurial lessons I had by working for someone else's company. And what I learned in that case is that a leader needs to assign responsibilities and then check up on them. And it's kind of like leadership 101. So in my early entrepreneurial career, I would assign very vague tasks to my employees and hope that something happened. And that's the exact reverse way of how it should be done. If you're leading a team the right way, you assign very specific items that they need to deliver, and then you follow up to make sure that they are delivered. You definitely have your own experiences that'll be unique to you, and you need to use those as strengths in your next endeavor. All right, guys, quitting your job in the end really isn't a big deal. Better things are waiting for you on the other side, and just go live your life. You only get to live it once, so it's super important that you're living a life that you enjoy, and work is such a big part of all of our lives that you have to be happy with what you're doing. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions at all about quitting your job, please put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Done this a few times before, and I have coached many people through it. So good luck out there. If you're starting a new company, my goal is to make you as successful as possible by giving you great guidance and helping you avoid mistakes that entrepreneurs commonly make. Please give this a like, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.